Hello everyone and welcome to today's IELTS speaking class where we will be getting together to do some IELTS speaking practice. I'll be going through some tips related to the IELTS exam and there will be an opportunity to put those tips into practice and also to get some feedback on your speaking within the context of parts 2 and 3 of the IELTS speaking exam. So a very warm welcome to all those who have joined us within the class today. I can see that we have a number of students. We've got Jay, we've got Sel, we've got Peter that have joined us already. So as the class progresses, we'll see who else will be joining us in order to do some speaking practice today. I can also see that we are broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, do let me know in the comment box. Let me know your name and where you're watching from today. And I'll be asking some questions throughout the session. So if you have answers to those questions, then please do share those in the comment box and participate. The more that you participate, the more useful these sessions are. We've been joined by Blessing in the class as well. So hello to you, Blessing. I can see that a number of new students are with us today, which is great to see. We always like to provide opportunities to students that have joined us on the scholarship program. So there'll be an opportunity for those to speak, should they choose to take advantage of it. Hello, Joanna. Joanna is watching us on YouTube and she is in the Philippines. So a very warm welcome to you. Who else is watching us today live on Facebook/YouTube? Let me know if you're currently watching live. Okay, so as people are beginning to join us, and I can see that we've also been joined now by Emmanuel in the class. Hello to you. I want to start to have a look at, obviously, what we're going to be doing in today's class, but I can see that we've been joined by Rumbidzai, is that right? Who is watching from Poland. Hello to you. Svinvasan is watching us as well, or Srini, and he is from South Asia. So hello to you. We've got Jewel from the Philippines and Patricia from South Africa. Hello to both of you. Rinku is watching us as well from New Zealand. So great to see so many people from different parts of the world who are joining us in the class today. Also we've got Pedro. Hello to Pedro. Pedro is from Venezuela. And Uma is watching us as well. Hi to you, Uma. Both watching from Facebook. Okay. So as I said, today we are doing IELTS speaking practice. That is the focus of today's class. And just before we have a look at some tips relating to the IELTS exam, for those who are watching us live on YouTube and Facebook, I'd like to make you aware of the IELTS Scholarship program, which you can sign up for today. If you are a nurse who is looking to live or work, or live and work rather, in the United States, then this is the program for you. We'll provide you with the support and the guidance necessary in order to achieve that ambition. You could potentially get all of the support for free. So join us on the IELTS Scholarship program. You will see the link. In order to do this, it will be scrolling across the bottom of my screen. So you can see this scrolling across the bottom of my screen now. One of the things that we provide in order to give you support in terms of achieving that ambition is the possibility of doing live speaking practice in sessions such as today's. So do click on that link and click on the option Staff Nurse in order to find out more information. Okay. So what I want to have a look at today in terms of tips is fluency. Now, one of the tasks in the IELTS requires you to give a longer response. Part 2 of the test requires you to speak for between 1 to 2 minutes. So it's important that if we're going to speak for an extended period of time, that we provide structure to our talk. Now, one way that we can do this is by introducing our talk. So we provide an introduction at the beginning. We can also ensure that we use linking expressions or cohesive devices during the response when we're transitioning from one part of the talk to another part of the talk. And also, we can look at potentially concluding our talk at the end. So all of these tips are ways to provide structure to our speaking. Looking at the introduction, to introduce our talk for part 2, what we could say is, so I'm going to talk about, or, well, I'd like to talk about is, and obviously for that space, it will depend on what the topic is. So if the topic, for example, is, let's say, family members, a family member that you admire, we might say, well, the family member I'd like to talk about is, and then we have a beginning to our talk. So let's have a look at an example here. Here is a question. This was from last week's IELTS Speaking practice class. And the question asked you to describe a type of weather that you enjoy. So how could you introduce this? What might be the first sentence that you say in order to provide an introduction to this topic? What do you think? Any ideas? Let me know. Share them in the comment box. I can see here we've been joined by some other students. Treblig has joined us from Qatar. Hello to you. Otoscope as well has joined us. Hello to you. And Patty has joined us from Thailand. Otoscope is in the USA. So welcome to all of you, all watching on Facebook. I can also see that Miriala and Lucy have joined us in the class. So great to see you both. Okay, so any suggestions then in terms of how we could introduce this talk? As I say, let me know in the comment box if you have any ideas. I have some ideas, and these are some examples. So looking at that talk, so I'm going to talk about the snow, since this is my favorite type of weather. Or alternatively, well, the kind of weather I'd like to talk about is snow. This is my favorite weather. So you can see I'm introducing the topic. I'm saying what the main focus of the topic will be. And so it provides a bit of structure. The listener, who is of course the examiner, will know what topic it is that I'm talking about. It will be coherent. It will provide a logical beginning to the talk. And it gets us going. It gets us warmed up so then we can go on and deal with the rest of the question. So, of course, these aren't the only two possibilities, but they're just two examples of ways in which we can introduce our talk. So moving on, we've introduced our talk. Now we're going to move on to talking about the first topic. So the first part of the topic. So when moving on from one part of the question to the next, we can use linking expressions / cohesive devices. An example of this would be, as we can see here, in regards to the season during which this weather can be experienced. Okay, so in regards to is being used as a linking device. It's being used to show that we're moving on from the introduction to the first part of the question. As to when during the year this weather occurs is another way of doing the same thing. But notice the paraphrasing. If we have a look at the original question, we can see that the words are not the same. I'm not just copying the words from the question. If we go back to the question momentarily, we can see it says at which time of the year you can experience this weather. So I'm not saying you can experience this weather at. I'm trying to paraphrase. I'm using my own words in order to answer the question. And this is important because it shows that we have a wider range of vocabulary if we can use our own words in this way. So let's have a look at the question again. How could we move on to talk about what you like doing during this weather? Because that's the next one, isn't it? What you like doing in this weather. So what expression could we use? How could we possibly paraphrase the words from the topic? Any ideas on this? Let me know in the comments box if you do have some ideas. How would you approach it? So we've introduced the topic. We've said at what time of the year we can experience this weather. Now we're going to move on to talk about what we like doing during this weather. Okay. So if you do have any suggestions, as I say, let me know in the comments box and I'll look at those if you share them. In the meantime, here are some suggestions as to how we could approach this part of the question. So here we go. Well, when it comes to what I like doing, there are a number of activities that become possible in the snow. So again, we've got that linking structure here. When it comes to, so when it comes to is showing that we're moving on to a new topic, we're transitioning from one part of the question to another part of the question. And I've paraphrased, haven't I? I've not just used the same words. What I like doing, well, I have used what I like doing, but I've not used it in exactly the same way. I've not just said, what I like doing in this weather. I've shortened it. So when it comes to what I like doing, there are a number of activities that become possible. Or alternatively, as far as wintertime activities are concerned, in the snow, there are so many things you can do. So in this second example, I've paraphrased even more. I've not used any of the words from the question, but clearly I'm addressing the question. And then I can move on and say, for example, and then I can give examples of the activities that could be done. As far as is being used here as a linking device, and again, it provides structure to my response. Okay. So finally then, we've provided a bit of structure to the response. If we have time, and we may not have time, it may be the examiner stops us from speaking, in which case no problem, because we've achieved the task. Remember, the task is to speak for between 1 to 2 minutes. If the examiner stops you, it means that he or she is happy with what you've done up to now and doesn't require you to speak any more on that topic. So the examiner stopping you from speaking is a positive thing. But if you do have time at the end, then it's a good idea to conclude your talk. And you can use the conclusion to add extra ideas if you need to keep speaking. So examples of how we can conclude the talk are here. So that's why I enjoy the snow so much. In fact, the next time it snows, I'm planning to, so you can see I've just summarized quickly, that's why I enjoy the snow. I don't need to repeat anything I've already said, but I just need to make a statement just to emphasize really the question that I have asked. And then I can use in fact as a linker to add extra information. And it's always a good idea in these sorts of questions to talk about the future. We've talked about the snow that in my case, I've talked about the snow, but we've talked about the weather that we enjoy. We'll probably talk about the present quite a lot because we're talking about what I enjoy in general, what you can do in general. So it's a good opportunity at the end to talk a little bit about the future in order to add ideas and to extend your talk. Another way that we could do this is to use the second example. For that reason, I always have and always will love the snow. Actually, when it snows again, I'm going to, okay, so it's the same procedure, isn't it? What we're doing is we're summarizing the point that we've made in terms of which weather we enjoy, and then we use actually as a linking expression in order to extend. Okay. So, can you think of any other ways of concluding this talk? Any other possibilities? Let me know in the comments box if you can. I can see we've been joined by a few more students as well. Hello to all of you. We've got Shireen from Kuwait. Hello to you. She's watching us on Facebook. And we've also got Judith. What are the requirements needed in doing nursing in Florida? Okay, Judith, so you can join us if you click on the scholarship program and click on staff nurse, then we can provide you with all of that information here at Connetics and IELTS. So yeah, just click on that link, and any questions you have, we can address those. One thing that you do need is to have the relevant score in the IELTS. You need to get a passing score in the IELTS. So that is one of the requirements that exists. Okay. Praxi is joining us as well, also from Kuwait. Hello to you, Praxi. So any suggestions on any other conclusions for this talk? If not, we will begin the IELTS speaking practice, and I will bring in one of our students who has joined us live in the class. Okay, so let's do that. Just before I do, the tip that I would give you based on what I've said thus far is to practice structuring your response both to part 2 and part 3 questions in the IELTS exam, especially if you find it difficult to speak for the required time. So as you can see, using this structured approach helps you to extend your ideas, particularly if you come to the end, you're concluding, you're summarizing the main point that you've made, and then you can use that as an opportunity to add some extra but connected ideas. So you can use it as a way of extending your speaking, but also providing that structure will show more coherence, and it will show a greater level of fluency if you're able to do it effectively. So we're going to do some speaking part 2 practice. And the key for this is that you'll have a minute to prepare your response, and then you should speak for up to 2 minutes. Always aim to speak for the full 2 minutes in your practice, because you may be required to do that in the exam, and it's good to be prepared for the most difficult scenario. So who's going to join us then in order to do some part 2 practice? Let's see. I'm going to bring Blessing into the class. Let me do that. Hi there, Blessing. Are you there? Okay, doesn't seem so. Oh, are you there, Blessing? I thought something was happening there for a moment. Let me know in the chat box if you are able to participate. I can see you're live in the class. Okay, let me bring Jay into the class. Hi there, Jay. Are you available? Disconcertingly silent. Okay, Cell, I can see Cell. Okay, Cell, let me bring you in. Are you there, Cell? No? Okay, so we've got a few people joining us in the class, but for some reason, we're not able to get any participation at the moment. You're available, are you, Jay? Okay, let me try and bring you in again. Hi, Jay, are you there? It's just silent at the moment. It's saying that your audio is available, but I can't hear you.
Hello.
Ah, now I can hear you. Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, hello. I'm okay, but nervous at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Is this the first time you've joined us, Jay?
Not really. It's just
No.
that I tried a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, try to take a few deep breaths to relax and to be confident. Obviously, going into the exam, it's good. It's good to at least pretend to be confident, even if you are feeling a little bit
Yeah,
nervous.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so we're gonna look at a part two question. Did you do part two practice when you were with us before?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay,
Uh,
well there you go.
with a
So
one
you've had
minute
it.
preparation. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So you've had experience
And
then, so you know what's coming.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Depends on the question. I mean,
It
yeah.
always does.
Depends on the
Yeah, it always
question.
does. Well, try
Mm,
try to use a structured approach. Obviously, during your preparation time, you can think about that a little bit when you're writing down your ideas, and then see if that helps you on this occasion.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's see then. So here is the question. Can you see that on your
A
screen, Jay?
colleague.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. I can I can see it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. So you've got a minute to prepare.
Business person.
Okay. Are you ready to begin?
Okay, I'll try, Sir Alex.
Okay. Let's see how we do then, Jay. So please describe a colleague that you admire.
Okay. In my home country, I've been met some entrepreneurs um, that that I really admire, and one of which is Henry C. I've known him um, as one of the richest business person here in the Philippines. Actually, he owns the largest shopping center in my home country, which is the SM Super Malls, um, which he was actually started as a businessman that owns a shoe mart, which became larger um, in by from time to time and became a huge retail company. Um, and what I admire about this entrepreneur is that he is a hardworking person, and at the same time, he's a philanthropist. If the right term, if I'm right, rather, the philanthropist is a person that helps other people because Henry C is a type of businessman that helps those people here in the Philippines who are less fortunate. Also, when it comes to his employees, I believe that due to the threat of COVID-19, some companies were laid off. But when it comes to his personnel, he didn't do that. And what he did to support to his employees is that he he gives some privilege, more privilege for this for their personnel.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Well done, well done. We got there. We were able to speak and extend our ideas for the full 2 minutes. So congratulations. And you used some nice language there, and you structured your response as well in a fluent manner, which was great to hear. So some of the expressions you used for structure was at the same time, in order to kind of link one thing you've been talking about and then move on to something else you spoke about, which was good. You were using relative clauses as well. You know, talked about he's a person that helps those who are less fortunate, which was another relative clause, and it was a nice expression as well, less fortunate. And generally speaking as well, you were speaking at a natural pace. So your ideas were clear, the pronunciation was accurate too. Just in terms of expressions, so philanthropist was correct. That was a good term to use. You used it in the correct context. But you said at one point...
Actually, it's my first time to use that.
Oh, well.
So I'm not
so
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Beginner's luck then in that case.
I was correct.
You used it correctly. You use the expression from time to time. So you said the business from time to time, you said it became more successful. It should be over time. So from time to time means sometimes.
Over time.
Yeah, so over time is what you wanted to use.
Sometimes.
Exactly. From time to time means sometimes, yeah. And you also said some companies laid off. But you can't lay off a company. I think what you wanted to say was a lot of companies laid off their employees during COVID.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just getting that clear. Yeah. It's the employees that get laid off. Yeah. So they were laid off by the company. And just finally, just a couple of grammatical slips. So you said one of the richest business person. It should be one of the richest business people, because one of means as a group. Yeah. And he said he was actually started. So you don't need was, just he actually started, from a small business and then it grew. So just a couple of slips there.
No
but otherwise,
was.
Exactly, no was, yeah. But otherwise, grammatically, you were accurate, and you did a good job. So good stuff, Jay. Good stuff. I can see that you are continuing to practice.
Thank you.
And you're doing well.
But I think that I'm speaking still in a monotonous way. I don't have emotions.
You don't have emotions.
I still need to enhance that portion.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is personality, isn't it? And part of it is if you're feeling a bit nervous, it's difficult to be expressive. But yeah, if you keep practicing, that should mean that you feel more confident, and that will help you, I think, to be more expressive. So yeah, that would be a good thing to keep focusing on in order to continue making improvements. But you're definitely very clear and accurate in your pronunciation. So that's the positive side of it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thank you, Sir Alex.
Okay. No worries. So we're going to move on to another question. We're going to talk about the environment. The environment is a big a hot topic, isn't it? As you know, as it should be, really. So I can see. So Blessing said that she was available. Are you back with us, Blessing? You're on mute. Are you able to come off mute? If not, I'll bring in Miriala. I can see Miriala's in the class as well. Okay, so let me bring Miriala in. Hi, Miriala.
Hi, sir.
How are you doing?
Yes, sir.
You doing well?
Yeah, I am on duty. Yeah.
You're on duty. Are you able to participate, or are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll speak.
Okay. Great. So you're having a little break, are you, at the moment?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, brilliant. Mariala, we're looking at the environment. Can you see the topic on your screen?
Yeah, describe a law that exists in your country which aims to promote the environment.
That's the
And
one.
you should say what is the law, you learned about it, who benefits from it, and explain how you feel about this law.
So you've got a minute then, Mariala, to write down some ideas, to prepare. Okay, and then you should speak about this for between 1 to 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you ready to begin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please describe a law that exists to protect the environment in your country.
Yes, basically I am from India. In my country, we have many different types of laws against offenses which affect the environment. Among that, I like most is smoking is prohibited in public areas. Because being a nurse, I know the air pollution, how much it affects the health of the human being. Who is active smoker, they may get affected, but more than that, passive smokers are very easily affected, who is next to them. That's the reason in my country they have passed the law against smoking in public area is prohibited. So because they are thinking of the person who is smoking, not alone him, and who is traveling or staying with them. That person's also government is thinking they must be in safe method, and most of the people should lead their life healthy way in safe environment. So I love that law because of that many people are free from air pollution, and they can take fresh breath from plants and trees, and they can have a good life. And not only that, because of this law, some people they feel guilty in front of smoking in others. That the reason they are not habituated to smoking, and they avoid also because it is against to law. I think it is influencing public more, and government is taking good policy to take care of their public in safe environment. Not only in now currently, but in future also it may leave the world in safe mode, I think, because of healthy fresh air. That's the reason I like this law.
Good, good. Thank you. So well done on extending your talk there, Mariala. You're using some good expressions to do that, and a nice little conclusion at the end as well. And you spoke for the required period of time, so that was great. Yeah, some good structure that you're using there. So some expressions like because of that, not only that, in order to link ideas together, which was good to hear. Some paraphrasing as well. You're talking about the law. You said it prohibited smoking, prohibited in public areas. So that was good. I think the pronunciation sometimes is a bit difficult to follow, Marial. I think it's intonation. With the intonation, it's a bit difficult to follow your ideas sometimes. I think what would be useful for that is slowing down just a little bit to begin with, just to slow down, and then that will help you to kind of emphasize certain words, stress certain words in order to communicate your meaning a little bit more clearly. So Yeah, I think that would be a good thing too, because at the moment it's like you're stressing every word at the end of a sentence almost. And if you do that, it's difficult to work out, okay, what's the most important word in this sentence? So that's something to think about, really, is think about using sentence stress and using it to
Yes,
communicate
sir.
meaning. Yeah. So what can be useful for that is self-recording, to kind of listen back to yourself so you can see how you're using intonation at the moment and stress. And also, obviously, when you're doing listening practice as part of the IELTS as well, try and pay attention to how stress is used by the speaker to communicate meaning. And like me now, for example, if I say certain words and I stress certain words, that's because they're the most important. And if I say words more quickly, it's because they're less important. You see what I mean? And that's just something that I would just pay attention to, because I think it will make your speaking a bit clearer if you're able to do that. But yeah, aside
Yes,
from that, clearly you've got a good range of vocabulary there, and your ability to link ideas together is also a strength in your speaking. Sometimes there are some grammatical words that are missing. So you said it is influencing public, but it should be influencing the public. When we talk about people in general, we use the public is the term that we use. You also said the government is taking good policy. But again, we'd probably want to use an article here. So the government has implemented a good policy. So using articles, the is something to practice a bit as well, just in terms of accuracy. So yeah, some good things there. Like I say, the structure, the vocabulary generally is good, but just look at grammatical accuracy and pronunciation, particularly stress. That's the first thing I would think about focusing on is using stress to communicate your ideas more clearly where possible.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mariala. I look forward to us
Yeah, thank
practicing
you, sir.
further. Okay, take care. So we're going to do another part 2 practice. Let's see who is with us to participate. And I can see a couple of new students have joined us, but let me bring Mac into the class. Are you there, Mac? Hi there, Mac. Are you able to come off mute? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, so Sel, are you able to try then? You're not at work anymore. Let me try and bring you in again. Let's see. Hi, Sel, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for
Good, good.
asking.
No problem, Sal, no problem. Where are you based at the moment?
Well, I came from Philippines.
Oh, okay, okay. And that's the country you're living in now, is it?
Yes.
Right, wonderful. Is this the first time you've participated in this class?
Yes. It's my first
Okay.
time.
Okay, well, a very warm welcome to you, Sel. We're going to have a look at another part 2 question. So let me bring that up. And you can see the topic on the screen, can you?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so you've got a minute to prepare then, and you can make some notes, obviously, during your preparation time, and then you should speak about this topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so your preparation time begins now. Hi there, Sal. Are you ready to
Okay.
begin? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. There are times in our life that we want to spend somewhere. So now I want to share my experience way back a couple of years ago when I went to Palawan together with my friends. For the reason that I wanted to unwind and relax for the meantime. So in that certain place is it is known as heaven on earth here in the Philippines for the reason that was one adorable paradise island here. That time I need to woke up around 12 midnight due to our flight was around 3 a.m. On the top of that, we had a lot of adventure and fun for a couple of weeks, as far as I remember. So we did a lot of things like snorkeling is one of the best thing that I ever had. Like we did swim with those species underwater, and of course those coral reefs I able to see those kind. And another thing that one of my favorite um things that I love was kayaking. Like I did paddling out of between rocks. Then I able to saw the hidden lagoon. So it was really amazing. Like I felt a lot of fun, and it was amazing experience for me. So I felt excited for the reason that even though I am not a morning person, I I still I woke up early for the things. Then I was
Okay.
thankful for
Thank you.
having that.
Thank you. Thank you very much there, Sal. That was good. You're able to extend the talk there and to keep going for up to 2 minutes. So well done for that. And also you were able to use some nice expressions in order to structure your talk. So some expressions you're using were due to, another thing was used as well to add some ideas. So yeah, those are some good examples of that. Some nice use of vocabulary. Obviously, you're talking about the activities that you did there to extend. So kayaking, snorkeling, obviously all relevant to the activity that you ended up doing. So yeah, good. So there was some good extension, some good demonstration of fluency in terms of the way that you were able to continue talking. Just some points where the pronunciation was a bit unclear. So the words adorable was one which I picked up on. I think the pronunciation was just slightly unclear on that. So just review that one. I think that was the word you were saying, adorable. And there were some other words which I couldn't quite pick up at times. So I was listening, but I couldn't quite make them out. So just some inaccuracies. I think it might be the stress, the actual phoneme that you're stressing, or the syllable that you're stressing. So yeah, just be a little bit aware of that. And also sometimes in terms of word choice. So there are certain phrases and expressions which were just a little bit unnatural. So you said, I feel a lot of fun, but for fun, we would use the verb have. So, I had a lot of fun. So there was the tense, obviously should be in the past tense, but even the choice of the word as well. So had fun. And then you said, I think you said it was an adventure. You said snorkeling, one of the best thing that I ever had, but you do an activity. So it should be one of the best things I've ever done. In that case. So yeah, in terms of your choice of verbs, it's just about making sure they're accurate and appropriate to the rest of the ideas that you are expressing. So yeah, just slightly on grammar as well. You said a lot of adventure. You said you had a lot of adventures, because if it's a lot of, then there's more than one. So just in the plural form there. And I able to saw, you said at one point, I able to saw, but okay, I was able to see. So was able, verb to be, to show it's, it's in the past tense. And then it'll be to plus infinitive. So I was able to see is how you'd want to express that there. Okay, so yeah, just a few things there. Like I said, the grammatical accuracy and pronunciation, but yeah, in terms of your use of vocabulary, there was some strengths in there, and the fact that you were fluent enough to continue extending your talk is also positive as well. So, good luck in your future preparation, Sel.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thank you, and take care. Okay, so we will move on to have a look at part 3 then for the final part of the session. Just before we do, just a quick reminder to those watching on YouTube and Facebook that if you wish to join us here at the scholarship program, you can do that by clicking on the link, which you can see scrolling at the bottom of the screen at the moment. If you are a nurse who is looking to live and work in the United States, then you should join us. Just click on the link and click on the option Staff Nurse to find out more information about how you could join us and the support that we could offer you. Just be aware that you could potentially get all of this support for free. So, speaking part 3, we're going to have a look at now. And the topics, of course, will be linked to the topics in part 2, but the format will be question and answer. So, we're going to go back to the topic of colleagues. And I'm going to bring another student into the class. So let me see. We've got Anne who has joined us. Hi there, Anne.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Have you joined us before, Anne?
Yeah, yeah, but I had a bad connection that time.
Okay, that was right. It was last week. It was, yeah, we lost you a bit early, didn't we? But
Yeah.
good to hear you this week as well. So, okay, Anne. So, looking at the topic of colleagues, then, in your opinion, how important is it to get on with your colleagues?
Okay. Working or getting on with some of our colleagues is like doing good benefiting towards work or towards anything that you're doing or you're dealing with. So being good, having a camaraderie of with other people while doing jobs or doing tasks makes the task a little easier, a lot easier than doing things alone. um they have they can be of good help if you do things with others, and also it can give you a sense of belongingness if you are going along or having a good time with others.
How important do you think good working relationships are to the success of a company?
Okay, as an ER nurse, I do believe in teamwork. So uh we are tasked, or we are allowed, or we should be working as a team for us to be able to deliver the care that our patient need at that time. So it is a crucial thing for us, and for an ER nurse to work uh as a team, because we are dealing with time, with pressure, with with the life of a person on our hands, to um to give the best that we can be.
Do you think that it's possible to have a good working relationship whilst working remotely?
Yeah, I do. As I've said, a good relationship with anyone can make or break your uh your task, or the work that you're assigned to. Okay. Um Having a good it is always a good thing to be friends with anyone. It makes the work easier. uh it it it, it gives you the mood do the task faster, or to do things or to work on things with someone around you.
Do you think it's important to have regular staff meetings at work?
Yeah, for our department, we usually had that a monthly meeting. Um, it was led by our head nurse, and usually we exchange our ideas, we exchange our thoughts. Um, reports are established, and we all in this way. Uh, each member of that team usually has this time to to express ideas that can improve, or that ideas that can improve the department, or that can help the department in the future.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne.
Thank
Some really
you.
nice responses there to those questions. Some nice use of vocabulary. So camaraderie, really nice word to use, talking about obviously positive relationships between staff members. A sense of belonging was a nice expression that you used as well. Crucial, another less common vocabulary item that you used, so that was great. And also some variety in grammar. So using the passive voice, reports are established at work was something that you used. Some comparative forms, a lot easier than. So yeah, some good variety in grammar and vocabulary. Just for the third question. So the third question was asking about working remotely, whether it was possible to have a good relationship with colleagues whilst working remotely. Your response didn't address that. So remote working when you're working from home. So just be careful that your
Honestly,
responses. Did you not
actually,
pick up on that?
yeah, honestly, I can't think of of an example because I haven't really experienced it.
Okay. So you maybe use your imagination. So trying to think, well, it might, because remember, you're just giving opinions. So in my opinion, if I were in a job and I was working remotely, do you think you still would be able to develop good relationships with people sort of in an online environment, or do you think it would be more difficult? So it was
Okay,
good
that
that you,
was a tough question.
yeah. Well, the thing is, it was good that you were using your experience to answer the questions, but it's not just about your experience. You should also try to sort of imagine a little bit as well what situations might be like, even if you've not experienced them directly. That's where part
Okay,
3 is a bit more abstract, because parts 1 and
okay,
2 are going to be directly about your experience, but then part 3, yes, you can use your experience as an example, but you need to think a bit broader than just your experience as well, where possible. And that would have
okay,
been an example. Yeah.
okay. I'll take note of that. Thank you, Sir Alex.
No worries, Anne. No worries. Yeah, you did a good job overall. Little bit of hesitation sometimes, just a little bit, but it wasn't extended. And yeah, definitely there was some good use of vocabulary and grammar in there. So we've got time for no worries. So we've got time for one more set of questions. I can see we've been joined in the class by Van. Are you there, Van? Hello. Are you able to participate? No? Okay. Who else have we got in the class? Let me know in the chat box if you are directly in the class, if you're able to participate. So you can see we've got a couple of students who've not yet spoken today, but I don't know if you will be able to connect. Let's try. I'll try Mac. Are you there now, Mac? No, it doesn't seem so. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'll bring you in again, Sel. Why not? Hi there, Sel. You're just on mute at the moment, or we try this one. How you doing, Sel?
Hello, sir. Yes.
Hi, welcome back.
Yes. Can I try again? If no one
Yeah,
will, no available.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the
because sir, I want to build my confidence as well because that
yeah.
was one of my weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, take advantage, Sel. Yep, you can join us again, no problem at all. So let's have a look. Which topic did we discuss before? Just remind me.
Oh,
It was getting up early, wasn't it?
yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's look at this one together, because in the exam, the part 3 topic will be linked to part 2. So can you tell me, Sel, in which situations is it important to get up early?
Well, there are numerous why people get early in terms of going to their work. So in that time, they need to wake up early to prepare their all belongings and as well to prepare themselves and to eat some of breakfast. Another thing is that those kids and students need to heading to their school. So that time also, of course, that was they need also to prepare themselves as well. Another thing I can think of is that those are going to their own establishment which are business person. So in that way they can also prepare all their things and their self as well.
Why do some people enjoy staying up late?
Well, as far as I can see in my own perspective is now younger generation is that they stay up late for the reason that they are sometimes they are busy doing their online school, not now that we are facing pandemic. So a lot of individual now are doing their respective tasks. And another thing, sometimes they just keep scrolling on their application like mobile games. In that way, of course they are consuming their time on that certain things.
Do you think that people who get up later tend to be lazier?
um of course not, because we cannot judge one individual in the terms of habit, because we are have different kind of responsibility in life, where for example in terms of their family, some if they had a little kid, so they need to sleep at late for the reason that they need to attend all the personal care for that for the member of the family.
Okay, thank you very much, Stel. So some nice responses there. I like the fact that you took a non-judgmental approach to those who tend to wake up a little bit later. Jennifer's just joined us. She's saying that the reason people might go to bed late is because they want to spend some time alone. But you also gave some nice responses as well in terms of kids maybe at school. So your responses were coherent and they were relevant. You're able to develop them effectively as well. Just a few slips with grammar though. So you said in terms of go into work, after a preposition such as of, it should be the ing form of the verb you would use. So in terms of going would be the correct way of expressing that. Also, you said people, prepare their self, but prepare themselves would be correct. So their self, sometimes it is used in a sort of very informal way, but it is technically, grammatically, it is incorrect. So themselves is what you'd want to use there. And again, just with plural. So you said, in terms of habits, but when we're talking about a noun in general, if it's countable, we'd use the plural form. So habits is what we'd use there as well. So I think, you do, as I say, you do expand on your answers and you provide logical reasons to support them. but there are moments of hesitation. I can see where you're kind of thinking of the correct expression to use. So I think the more you do this sort of practice, the more fluent and the more natural your responses are going to sound. So do keep practicing. Obviously, this is what we're here for. And also, if you have a study partner, keep practicing as well, just to sort of develop a little bit more sort of natural fluency. So there are sometimes some unnatural hesitations as you're speaking. And I think if you can reduce those, that's definitely going to improve the fluency of a speech. So yeah, some good stuff again, like heading to school was a nice expression that you used. You were using some nice linking expressions. Numerous, I think you said there are numerous, but even then there's a slight grammatical error. You said numerous reasons, so we needed a noun in there, or there are a number of reasons. But I could see you were trying to provide, these sort of linking expressions. As far as I can see, was a nice expression as well. So yeah, there's definitely some good strengths in there, Sel, but keep practicing and you'll get more fluent through doing so.
Yes, sir. Thank you. While I'm talking, I realize my mistakes.
Well, this is it. We can reflect, but it's a balance, isn't it? Because you don't want to think too much, because if you think too much, then your fluency will become, well, it'll be lost, won't it? Because you'll be pausing so much. So it's that balance between, you want that fluency and the accuracy, and that's where the practice will help you to achieve that. But yeah, take care, Sel. Yeah, best of luck going forward in your preparations.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so that brings us towards the end of today's class. Thank you very much to all those who have participated in the class today, on live in the class, and also those who have been watching us on YouTube and Facebook. It's great to have so much involvement in these classes. So just before I finish today, for those who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook who've joined us a little bit later in the class, if you do want to join us directly, you're a nurse who has the dream of living and working in the United States, then do join us on the IELTS Scholarship Program. You can find information on this by clicking on the link scrolling at the bottom of the screen, just under my video, and click on the option Staff Nurse in order to find out more information and to find out how you could potentially get all of this support for free. So thanks once again, everyone, and I will look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, take care.